When Aquaman splashed onto screens in December 2018, it carried the weight of expectation and skepticism in equal measure. The DC Extended Universe, DCEU, had endured a turbulent journey. Following the divisive reception of Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, 2016, and the troubled production of Justice League, 2017, the franchise needed a lifeline. Enter James Wan, a director best known for horror franchises, Saw, The Conjuring, Insidious, and the high-octane Furious 7. His task was monumental. Take a character long derided in pop culture, a hero who talks to fish, and transform him into a cinematic spectacle capable of rivaling Marvel's might. The result was nothing short of a seismic shift. Aquaman not only silenced critics, but became a financial leviathan, grossing over $1.15 billion worldwide. It became the highest-grossing DCU film, dethroning The Dark Knight Rises as the top-grossing DC film at the time, and proved that a well-executed solo origin story could still dominate the global box office. This document provides an exhaustive explanation of the film's plot, a detailed critical review, a treasure trove of production facts, and an analysis of its visual effects, music, and cultural impact. Part 1, Movie Explanation, a complete narrative breakdown. 1.1 The world of Aquaman, Atlantean lore and setup. To understand Aquaman, one must first understand the unique world building. Atlantis is not a single city, but a collection of 7 distinct underwater kingdoms. Atlantis, Zebul, the Fisherman Kingdom, the Brine Kingdom, the Deserters, a fallen kingdom, the Trench, a monstrous, degenerated kingdom, and the Hidden Sea, a secret realm at the Earth's core. Each kingdom has evolved differently. The Atlanteans are advanced humanoids with super strength. The fishermen are merfolk-like aristocrats. The brine are crustacean warriors. And the Trench are horrific predators. The film opens with a crucial piece of backstory. Atlanta, Queen of Atlantis, flees an arranged marriage to King Orvax. She finds refuge and love on the surface with a lighthouse keeper, Thomas Curry. Their son, Arthur, inherits the best of both worlds, the raw power and aquatic abilities of Atlantis, and the humanity and moral compass of the surface. This hybrid nature is the film's emotional core. Arthur is a reluctant hero, a man rejected by his mother's world because of his illegitimate birth, and by the surface world because of his strangeness. 1.2 Plot Summary. The Reluctant King's Journey, Beat by Beat. Act 1. The Call to Action, 1985 present. The film begins in Maine, 1985. A furious storm rages. Thomas Curry, Temuera Morrison, is tending his lighthouse when he sees a woman washed ashore. She is Atlanta, Nicole Kidman, Queen of Atlantis, wounded and fleeing her kingdom. A tender romance blossoms, producing a son, Arthur. But the peace is shattered when Atlantean soldiers arrive. Atlanta's duty to her kingdom forces her to return to Atlantis to face an arranged marriage, promising to return to Thomas and Arthur. She never does. She entrusts her advisor, Vulco Willem Dafoe, to train Arthur secretly. We flash forward to the present. Arthur Curry, Jason Momoa, is a brash, bearded, tattooed drifter who uses his powers to stop piracy. In a spectacular opening sequence, he dives into a Russian nuclear submarine, the Stolnoivok, that has been hijacked by a gang led by Jesse Kane, Michael Beach, and his son, David Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. Arthur dispatches the pirates with brutal efficiency. When Jesse Kane is trapped by a falling torpedo, Arthur refuses to save him, citing the murder of innocents. Jesse dies, David Kane swears vengeance, his hatred ignited. Meanwhile, in the opulent throne room of Atlantis, King ORM Patrick Wilson, Arthur's half-brother, addresses the council. ORM is pure Atlantean, handsome, calculating, and deeply resentful of the surface world's pollution and destruction of the oceans. He forms an alliance with King Nereus, Dolph Lundgren, of Zeeble by leveraging a false flag attack, the very submarine Arthur just raided. ORM hired the Kanes to create a crisis, proving the surface world's aggression, and thus uniting the four kingdoms under his rule as the Ocean Master. The only obstacle is the prophecy of the true heir, the one who can wield the lost trident of Atlan, the first king. Act 2. The quest for the trident. Princess Mara, Amber Heard, King Nereus' daughter and ORM's betrothed, is horrified. She does not share her father's hatred for the surface. She travels to Maine, finding Arthur, just as ORM unleashes a devastating tsunami that nearly kills Thomas Curry. Mara reveals that Atlanta may not be dead but imprisoned or worse, and the only way to stop ORM is to claim the trident of Atlan. Arthur reluctantly agrees. Their journey takes them to a fallen kingdom of the deserters, buried beneath the Sahara Desert. In a visually stunning sequence, they navigate a holographic map left by King Atlan himself. The map points to Sicily, Italy. In Sicily, they locate the trident's hidden coordinates inside a hidden chamber, but Black Manta, David Kane, now equipped with a high-tech Atlantean battle suit and a helmet-mounted energy beam, ambushes them. A thrilling chase through the narrow streets and over terracotta rooftops ensues. Arthur defeats Manta, but spares his life, a mercy that will have severe consequences. The coordinates lead to a terrifying location, the Trench. This is not a kingdom, but a hellscape of monstrous, bioluminescent, piranha-like creatures. Arthur and Mara are pulled into the abyss, only to be sucked through a hidden wormhole that deposits them in the hidden sea, a sunlit, prehistoric ocean at the center of the earth. Here, they find Atlanta alive. She reveals she escaped execution by sacrificing herself to the Trench, surviving as a castaway. A tearful reunion ensues. Act 3. The Battle for the Seven Seas. Arthur faces the final test. The Karathen, voiced by Julie Andrews, a colossal, Leviathan-like sea monster and guardian of the trident. The Karathen has killed countless claimants, but Arthur is different. He doesn't just ask for power, he appeals to the Karathen's sense of purpose, proving he is worthy not by might, but by his hybrid nature. He claims the trident, a gleaming, golden, three-pronged weapon of immense power, and with it, the authority to command all sea life, including the Trench and the Karathen itself. Unlike the dour Man of Steel, or the divisive Batman v Superman, Aquaman embraces comic book silliness. It is closer in tone to Wonder Woman, Hope and Heroism, and Shazam. Fun and family. By not apologizing for its source material, giant seahorses, crab people, a villain called Ocean Master, Aquaman achieves a kind of sincerity that disarms criticism. Part 3. Production Facts. The Making of a Deep-Sea Epic 3.1 The Long Road to Development, 2004 to 2015. False starts. Development began in 2004, but the project languished in development hell for nearly a decade. At one point, Justice League Mortal, directed by George Miller, was to feature Santiago Cabrera as Aquaman. That film collapsed in 2008 due to the writer's strike. The DiCaprio Connection. In 2009, Leonardo DiCaprio's Appian Way Productions was attached to produce an Aquaman film, but nothing materialized. The DCEU Catalyst, the release of Man of Steel in 2013, reinvigorated DC's slate. In 2014, Warner Brothers hired Will Beall, writer of Gangster Squad, and Kurt Johnstad, writer of Star 300 Star, to write competing scripts. The plan was to pick the best one. Wan's choice. In April 2015, James Wan was offered a choice: direct The Flash or Aquaman. He chose Aquaman because he felt The Flash had already been explored on TV, and he wanted the challenge of building an underwater world. 3.2 Casting secrets and surprises. Momoa's long game. Jason Momoa was cast as Aquaman in October 2014, before a script even existed. He had previously auditioned for Batman v Superman for the role of Doomsday. He brought his own interpretation. The tattoos are Polynesian, representing his heritage, and he insisted on speaking with his natural voice. Nicole Kidman's action. Kidman did most of her own stunts for the opening fight scene. At 51, she trained for months in martial arts and trident combat. She said she wanted to prove that women over 50 could be action heroes. Patrick Wilson's DC continuity. This is Wilson's second role in the DCEU. He previously voiced the President of the United States in Batman v Superman uncredited. He and Wan have collaborated on 6 films, the Conjuring series, Insidious series, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II's breakthrough. This film launched Abdul-Mateen into stardom. He later played Black Manta again in the sequel, and took on the role of Dr. Manhattan in Watchmen, HBO. He built his own Manta helmet replica to practice moving in it. Julie Andrews as the Karathen, the legendary Mary Poppins star, voiced the ancient sea monster. One wanted a voice that was regal, ancient, and surprisingly kind. Andrews recorded her lines in a single day. 3.3 Filming, the Ahab Project. Principal photography. Filming began May 2nd, 2017, in Gold Coast, Queensland, Australia, under the working title Ahab, a reference to the Moby Dick captain. The shoot lasted 136 days. The rig. The dry for wet technique involves suspending actors on tuning fork rigs, metal poles attached to hydraulics that could tilt, rotate, and vibrate. Actors had to act without water, while fans blew their hair in costumes. Their digital doubles replaced their bodies in post-production. Locations. Hastings Point, Australia. The lighthouse and exterior cliff scenes were built on a real rocky coastline. A full-size lighthouse was constructed, then partially dismantled for storm scenes. Sicily, Italy. The town of Eris on Mount San Giuliano stood in for the fictional Sicilian village. The production closed off streets and used local extras. Morocco. The Sahara Desert scenes, the fallen kingdom of the deserters, were filmed near Merzouga and Urfaud. The heat was so intense that Momoa reportedly drank 3 gallons of water per day. Newfoundland, Canada. Some of the darker, colder ocean shots were filmed in the North Atlantic. Underwater acting. Patrick Wilson and Amber Heard trained to hold their breath for up to 2 minutes to minimize bubbles in their helmets. However, most underwater dialogue was recorded in ADR, automated dialogue replacement, because the rigs made live audio impossible. The count. 2,300 visual effects shots. For comparison, Avengers Endgame had 2,500. Nearly every frame of the film, aside from close-up dialogue on land, is touched by VFX. ILM's hair simulation. The most difficult technical problem was hair. Underwater, hair should float and wrap around the face. ILM's Haircraft software had to simulate each strand individually. A single shot of Mara's hair moving could take 100 hours to render. The trench. The trench creatures were not purely CGI. Stunt performers in motion capture suits performed their movements, which were then layered with digital skin and bioluminescence. One wanted them to move like a cross between spiders, piranhas, and zombies. The Karathen. The ancient monster is 5,000 feet long, making it one of the largest creatures in film history. Its skin was designed to look like a cross between coral and rock. Julie Andrews' voice was digitally deepened by 2 octaves. De-aging. Willem Dafoe, 62 during filming, was digitally de-aged to appear 40 for flashback scenes. Weta Digital used a technique called face replacement, applying a younger Dafoe's face, scanned from the English patient, onto his performance. Gregson Williams' challenge. The composer had to write music that worked both underwater, muffled, bass-heavy, and on land, orchestral. He used water percussion, actual recordings of microphones submerged in pools, to create the Atlantean sound. Skylar Gray's Everything I Need. The end credit song was written from the perspective of Mara. Gray was inspired by the scene where Arthur and Mara travel through the hidden sea. Pitbull's Ocean to Ocean. The use of Toto's Africa was one's idea. He wanted a fun, ironic banger for the end credits. Pitbull recorded the track in 2 days. 3.6 release and box office milestones. Premiere. The world premiere was at the Empire, Leicester Square, London, on November 26, 2018. The blue carpet was transformed into an underwater-themed walkway. China's Embrace. The film was released in China 2 weeks before the US, December 7, 2018. It opened to 93.6 million, the biggest December opening in Chinese history. China contributed 93.6 million, the biggest December opening in Chinese history. China contributed $300 million to the global total. Domestic, $335.1 million. USA/Canada. International, $816.9 million. Worldwide, $1.152 billion. Records broken. Highest grossing DCU film surpassed The Dark Knight Rises. Highest grossing DC Comics film adaptation. 5th highest grossing film of 2018. 20th highest grossing film of all time at release. Warner Brothers, 3rd highest grossing film ever, behind Barbie and Harry Potter DH2. Profit. Deadline Hollywood calculated a net profit of $260.5 million, making it the 5th most profitable film of 2018. 3.7 Easter eggs and comic book references. The Trident of Atlan. In the comics, the trident belonged to Atlan, the founder of Atlantis. It grants the wielder control over all sea life and the power to control the weather. The Fisherman King's death. King Raku, voiced by Ji Min-hoon Soo, is a direct reference to the comic book character Fisherman, a minor Aquaman villain. Dr. Stephen Shin. In the comics, Shin is an ally who becomes obsessed and betrays Aquaman. The mid-credits scene sets up a potential Black Manta spin-off or sequel plot. The Karathen. This creature is original to the film, but its role as a guardian of a magical artifact mirrors the comic book creature Topo, a giant octopus who helped Aquaman. ORM's title, Ocean Master, is ORM's comic book villain name. The film's version is more sympathetic, but his costume, green armor, blue cape, is faithful. The Trench. In the comics, the Trench are a separate species that attack the surface. The film makes them a degenerated Atlantean kingdom, which is a creative twist. Julie Andrews casting. This is a deep cut for musical fans. Andrews famously played Mary Poppins, who could talk to animals. The Karathen is the deep sea equivalent. Part 4. Thematic analysis. What Aquaman really means. 4.1 Environmentalism without preaching. Unlike many superhero films that pay lip service to environmentalism, Aquaman makes pollution a central driver of the plot. ORM's motivation is legitimate. Surface nations dump trash, oil, and toxic waste into the ocean. The film shows whales tangled in nets, sea turtles eating plastic. However, it avoids a simplistic message. The solution isn't to destroy the surface, it's cooperation. Arthur represents the bridge. The film argues that technology and nature, land and sea, can coexist. 4.2 The rejection of purity. ORM is a pure-blood Atlantean who despises humans. Arthur is a half-breed. The film explicitly rejects racial purity narratives. The true king is not the one with the purest lineage, but the one who embodies hybridity. Arthur's strength comes from his human compassion, mercy toward ORM, love for his father, and his Atlantean power. This is a deeply progressive message for a blockbuster. 4.3 The hero's reluctance versus duty. Arthur spends most of the film saying, "I don't want to be king." This is a classic trope, Luke Skywalker Simba. The film subverts it by making his reluctance logical. His mother was killed, he thought, by the Atlantean system. His arc is not about learning to want power, but accepting that refusing power allows evil to flourish. By the end, he doesn't sit on a throne in triumph. He sits in quiet, weighted responsibility. 4.4 Revenge and mercy. Black Manta and ORM are both driven by revenge. Manta wants revenge for his father. ORM wants revenge for his mother's betrayal, loving a human. Arthur breaks the cycle of violence by sparing both. He tells Manta, "I'm sorry about your father, but you murdered innocent people." He doesn't apologize for his actions, but offers a chance at redemption. Manta refuses, but ORM, when he learns his mother is alive, seems to soften. Mercy, the film argues, is harder but more powerful than revenge. Part 5. Legacy and Impact 5.1 on the DCU. Aquaman saved the DCU from potential collapse. After Justice League underperformed, Warner Brothers was considering rebooting the franchise. Aquaman's success gave them confidence to continue with solo films like Shazam, Birds of Prey, and The Suicide Squad. It proved that DC could do fun and colorful and compete with Marvel's formula. 5.2 on James Wan's career. Wan became the first director to have two $1 billion plus films, Furious 7 and Aquaman, from different franchises. He solidified his status as a director who could handle any genre: horror, action superhero. 5.3 on Jason Momoa stardom. Momoa went from Khal Drogo, Game of Thrones, to a legitimate A-list leading man. He became the face of Aquaman for a new generation, leading to endorsements, a signature, Momoa style, buns, leather, beads, and a sequel. 5.4 the sequel, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, 2023. The sequel, released December 22nd, 2023, brought back the main cast. Directed by James Wan again, it explored the cursed Black Trident and introduced Kordax, ORM's brother. While it was less successful, $434 million worldwide, and received mixed reviews, it closed Arthur's arc as a father and king. The non-canonical animated miniseries Aquaman, King of Atlantis, 2021, served as a lighter, comedic bridge between the two live-action films. Memes were claimed before 2018. Aquaman was a punchline thanks to Entourage and Super Friends. After 2018, he was cool. The film successfully rebranded the character. Underwater visuals. The film set a new standard for underwater CGI. Subsequent productions, including Avatar, The Way of Water, owed a debt to the hair and physics simulations pioneered by ILM for Aquaman. Representation. Momoa, who is of native Hawaiian, Samoan, and Caucasian descent, brought Polynesian culture to the forefront. The tattoos, the warrior ethos, the connection to the ocean, all resonated with Pacific Islander communities globally. Part 6. Flaws and criticisms and honest accounting. No analysis is complete without acknowledging the film's shortcomings. Pacing issues. The middle section, Desert to Sicily to Trench, feels episodic. The film could have lost 15 minutes without harming the story. Exposition dumps. Characters frequently explain things they would already know. Volko tells Mera things she, a princess, should know. This is a sign of a script that fears the audience won't follow. Back in the surface/underwater war, ORM has crushed the Brine Kingdom, standing victorious over their crab-like king, ready to declare himself Ocean Master. But before he can, Arthur arrives, riding the Karathen, leading an army of trench creatures, sharks, and seahorses. The final battle is a sprawling, multi-layered war sequence. While ORM's forces are disciplined and technologically superior, Arthur's are chaotic, numerous, and ferocious. Arthur challenges ORM to single combat for the throne, as is Atlantean custom. They duel with their respective tridents. ORM is a master warrior, but Arthur has the true power of Atlan. In a climactic underwater brawl, Arthur shatters ORM's trident and defeats him. ORM, expecting death, is shocked when Arthur spares him, sentencing him to imprisonment rather than execution. ORM's followers, witnessing Arthur wield Atlan's trident and show mercy, kneel to the new king. The mid-credits scene. In a coda, a damaged Black Manta is rescued by Dr. Stephen Shin, Randall Park, a marine biologist obsessed with proving Atlantis' existence. Shin, shunned by the scientific community, agrees to help Manta find Atlantis in exchange for secrets. Manta's eyes glow red through his helmet. Revenge is coming. Part 2. Critical review. An objective analysis of strengths and flaws. 2.1 overall verdict. A spectacular, flawed, and joyful triumph. Aquaman is not a perfect film. Its script is often clunky, its dialogue veers into melodrama, and its runtime, 143 minutes, occasionally feels bloated. However, to judge Aquaman by the standards of grounded cinema is to miss the point entirely. James Wan has crafted a rock and roll opera of the deep, a film that prioritizes visual imagination, world building, and sheer spectacle over narrative subtlety. It is the cinematic equivalent of a comic book splashing to life in vibrant, wet, glorious color. Rating: 7.5/10 Rotten Tomatoes, 66% critics, /78% audience. 2.2 Direction and Vision. James Wan. Score: 9 out of 10. James Wan proves he is one of the most versatile directors in Hollywood. He choreographs action with the spatial awareness of a horror director, using long takes and clear geography in underwater brawls, and the kinetic energy of an action maestro. The Italy chase sequence is a masterclass in editing and camera movement. The final battle, which switches between a kaiju-style monster fight, a gladiatorial duel, and a war epic, is remarkably coherent for its complexity. Wan's insistence on dry-for-wet filming, actors on rigs with wind machines and CGI, gives the underwater scenes a floating, gravity-defying quality that no other aquatic film has achieved. 2.3 Performance Analysis. Jason Momoa, Arthur Curry/Aquaman Momoa is the heart of the film. He replaces the stoic, blonde, clean-shaven comic book Aquaman with a Polynesian-inspired, sarcastic, heavy metal brawler. His charisma is undeniable. He delivers one-liners. "I'm not a hero, I'm a guy who can talk to fish," with a wink, but also sells the pain of abandonment. He is a classic hero archetype, reluctant, powerful, funny, and Momoa wears it like a well-worn leather jacket. Patrick Wilson, ORM/Ocean Master Wilson, is the film's unsung asset. He plays ORM not as a cackling villain, but as a tragic figure, a legitimate eco-terrorist with a point about pollution, whose methods are monstrous but whose grievances are real. His regal bearing and operatic intensity provide perfect contrast to Momoa's roughness. Amber Heard. Mara Heard's Mara is a warrior princess, fierce and competent. Her hydrokinetic powers, turning wine into projectiles, creating water shields, are visually inventive. However, the chemistry between Heard and Momoa is more combative than romantic, and the script gives her little to do beyond exposition and rescue missions. Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, Black Manta, a tragic and menacing performance. While his screen time is limited, Abdul-Mateen injects David Kane with a genuine pathos. His origin is brutal, and his suit, practical, mechanical, with glowing red eyes, is a VFX triumph. He is the film's Jaws, a relentless, personal villain for the sequel. Nicole Kidman, Atlanta in just a few scenes. Kidman delivers the film's emotional backbone. Her escape from Atlantis in the opening is a stunning action sequence. She fights with a trident against multiple guards, and her reunion with Arthur is genuinely moving. 2.4 Writing and Dialogue. Score, 5 out of 10. The screenplay by David Leslie Johnson McGoldrick and Will Beale is the film's weakest link. The plot is a standard hero's journey MacGuffin hunt. Find the map, go to the desert, go to Sicily, find the trident. Exposition is often delivered in clunky monologues, as you know your brother. The humor is hit or miss. A scene where a drunk Arthur vomits a rainbow after eating a flower is bizarrely out of place. However, the film earns points for thematic coherence. The central theme, unity between land and sea, tradition and progress, is consistent. ORM represents purity and isolation. Arthur represents hybridity and connection. That message lands. 2.5 Visual Effects and World Building. Score, 10 out of 10. This is where Aquaman achieves immortality. The visual effects are nothing short of revolutionary. Atlantis is rendered as a psychedelic, bioluminescent metropolis of jellyfish domes, coral skyscrapers, and liquid transportation tubes. The color palette, vivid purples, golds, neon blues, is a deliberate middle finger to the dark and gritty aesthetic of earlier DCEU films. The hair simulation, each strand of hair moving independently underwater, involved 700 shots and required ILM to rewrite its physics software. The trench sequence is pure horror. The Karathen is a Lovecraftian nightmare made beautiful. This is a film that demands to be seen on the largest screen possible. 2.6 Music and Sound. Score, 8 out of 10. Rupert Gregson-Williams' score blends orchestral bombast with tribal percussion and soaring choirs. The main Aquaman theme, a brassy, heroic fanfare, is memorable. The use of Toto's Africa, sampled in Pitbull's Ocean to Ocean, is a self-aware joke that works. The underwater sound design is exceptional. The bubbling of water, the metallic clang of tridents, the screech of the trench. It immerses you completely. Underwhelming villain depth. ORM is compelling, but Black Manta, despite Abdul-Mateen's performance, is underutilized. His revenge arc is relegated to a side quest. Mara's agency, while powerful, Mara's primary function is to guide Arthur. She rarely makes decisions that affect the plot beyond rescuing him. The sequel gives her more to do. Cheesy dialogue. Lines like, "You have our mother's trident." Powerful, but flawed, like her, groan-inducing. The film needed a final pass by a dialogue doctor. Conclusion. The final verdict. Aquaman, 2018, is a rare beast, a blockbuster that is simultaneously flawed and magnificent. It is too long, too loud, and too silly in places. Yet its ambition is breathtaking. James Wan created a world so vivid, so imaginative, and so visually stunning that you cannot help but be swept away. Jason Momoa turns a joke into a legend. The film's heart, about family, mercy, and the environment, beats loud and true. For viewers, Aquaman is an experience, not a lecture. It is the cinematic equivalent of a roller coaster that plunges into the ocean and emerges on the other side of the world. It is not high art, but it is high spectacle. And in 2018, after a decade of grim superheroes, that was exactly what audiences wanted. Final score breakdown. Story/plot, 6 out of 10. Acting, 7.5/10. Direction, 9 out of 10. Visual effects, 10 out of 10. Music/sound, 8 out of 10. Thematic depth, 7 out of 10. Entertainment value, 9 out of 10. Overall, 8.1/10. Highly recommended for spectacle lovers and DC fans. Where to watch? Streaming on Max, formerly HBO Max. Available on 4K Blu-ray, and digital platforms. Appendices. Quick fact reference sheet category details director James Wan writers David Leslie Johnson McGoldrick will be based on DC Comics Aquaman, created by Paul Norris and Mort Weisinger, release date December 21, 2018 US, running time 143 minutes, 2 hours 23 minutes, budget $160, 200 million estimated, box office $1.152 billion MPA rating PG, 13, for sci-fi violence, action, and some language. Main cast Jason Momoa, Amber Heard, Patrick Wilson, Willem Dafoe, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, Nicole Kidman, Dolph Lundgren VFX, Vendors Industrial Light and Magic, ILM, Weta Digital, Scanline VFX, DNEG, Method Studios, Rodeo FX, Digital Domain Key Location Village Roadshow Studios, Gold Coast, Australia sequel Aquaman, and The Lost Kingdom, 2023, animated spin-off Aquaman, King of Atlantis, 2021, box office rank, 2018, 5th, Behind Avengers, Infinity War, Black Panther, Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, Incredibles 2, DCU ranking highest grossing DCU film, as of 2024, until The Batman, but that is standalone. Memorable quotes. I'm not a hero. I'm a guy who can talk to fish. Arthur Curry. The surface took my mother. I will not let them take my home. King ORM. You think, because you have a big fork you can beat me? Arthur to ORM. Permission to come aboard? Mara. To Arthur, after crashing through a roof. There's a reason I'm the one who can wield it. I'm the only one who doesn't want to. Arthur about the trident. Final trivia. The film's Aquaman title card appears 52 minutes into the film, the latest in DCU history. Julie Andrews did not meet any of the cast. She recorded her lines in a studio in Los Angeles. The trench sequence was shot in a giant water tank with 40 stunt performers in mocap suits. James Wan's wife, Ingrid Baisu, contributed to the story. She suggested the hidden sea reveal. The film's color palette includes 23 distinct shades of blue and green, calibrated for IMAX. The film opens with a crashing wave that fills the screen. The Warner Brothers logo appears submerged. This immediately establishes water as the primary character. Director James Wan uses a desaturated gray-blue palette for the surface world, contrasting sharply with the vibrant Atlantis later. Shot-by-shot breakdown. Extreme wide shot of a lighthouse on a cliff, lightning striking the sea. Cut to interior. Thomas Curry, Temuera Morrison, wakes to the storm. The production design is deliberately rustic. Wood panels, old books, a fireplace. Thomas ventures outside. A massive wave deposits Atlanta, Nicole Kidman, onto the rocks. She is wearing a golden, intricate Atlantean battle dress. Already damaged, already mysterious. The rescue. Thomas carries her inside. She is unconscious. He removes her armor, revealing scars. This is a classic stranger washed ashore trope, think the Odyssey, but gender-flipped. Why it works? One establishes the love story without dialogue. We see Thomas's kindness, he covers her with a blanket, and Atlanta's strength, she later wakes and pins him against the wall. The storm is both literal, a weather event, and metaphorical, the chaos Atlanta brings. Fact: the lighthouse was a 50-foot practical build on Hastings Point, Australia. The storm scenes used 20,000 gallons of water per minute, recycled from a nearby tank. 7.2 The falling in love montage, 6 to 10 o'clock. Structure: a wordless montage set to Rupert Gregson Williams' Tender String theme. We see Thomas teaching Atlanta to cook eggs. She burns them. Atlanta teaching Thomas to navigate by the stars. A fishing trip, where Atlanta catches a giant tuna with her bare hands. A kiss in the rain. The birth of Arthur. Thematic importance. This montage establishes the hybrid nature of Arthur. He is conceived from two worlds, human domesticity and Atlantean wildness. The film argues that love across boundaries is possible but fragile. Fact: Nicole Kidman insisted on performing the tuna-catching stunt herself. She caught a 40-pound live tuna on the second take. 7.3 The Atlantean attack, 10 to 1400 hours. Action choreography. Atlanta is on the beach when Atlantean soldiers rise from the surf. They wear black, eel-like armor, and move in synchronized, fluid motions. The fight scene is one take, a wand signature. Kidman dispatches 7 soldiers, using a combination of a broken bottle, human weapon, a trident, Atlantean weapon, her own fists. Emotional beat. Atlanta says goodbye to a toddler Arthur. She promises, "I will return." This is a lie she believes. Thomas holds Arthur as Atlanta walks into the sea, the soldiers forming a guard of honor. She does not look back. Fact: the soldier's armor was made of 3D printed nylon and coated with wet look lacquer. Each suit weighed 40 pounds. 7.4 Present-day opening. The submarine hijacking, 14 to 2200 hours. Tone shift. The film cuts to a title card, present day. The music becomes rock and roll. We see Arthur Curry for the first time. Long hair, beard, tattoos, a leather jacket over a scale mail shirt. He is on a fishing boat, drinking a beer. The hijacking, a Russian nuclear submarine, the Stalnoivok, is hijacked by Jesse and David Kane. The Kanes are pirates, but Jesse has a code. We don't kill unless we have to. David is more brutal. Arthur's entrance. He dives off his boat, swimming at supersonic speed, visualized as a blue streak in the water. He breaches the submarine's hull by punching through it. This establishes his power level. He is strong enough to tear metal. The fight. Arthur moves through the submarine like a horror movie monster. He emerges from pipes, punches through doors, and uses the environment, water pressure, torpedoes, against the pirates. The choreography is claustrophobic, a nod to Juan's horror background. The moral choice. Jesse Kane is trapped under a falling torpedo. Arthur could save him, but he refuses. "You killed innocent people. You're going to have to live with that." Jesse dies. David screams, "I'll kill you." Arthur replies, "You can try." This is the birth of Black Manta. Fact: the submarine set was built on a gimbal that could tilt 45 degrees in any direction. Actors had to film while the set moved, simulating the submarine sinking. 7.5 Atlantis introduction. 35:00, 45:00. World building. Mara takes Arthur to Atlantis for the first time. The audience experiences it through Arthur's eyes, wonder and discomfort. The city is a vertical metropolis. Jellyfish dome buildings, coral skyscrapers, underwater highways filled with ships that look like manta rays and squids. Color palette. Production designer Bill Brzezinski used a bioluminescent futurism aesthetic. The city glows in shades of cyan, magenta, and gold. Unlike the dark, metallic Atlantis of Justice League, this one is organic and alive. Social hierarchy. As Arthur walks through the city, we see different classes. Nobles ride giant seahorses, wear flowing robes. Soldiers, men of war troops in crustacean-like armor. Commoners, fish herders, merchants selling glowing pearls. The throne room. ORM's throne is carved from a single giant whalebone. He sits on a bed of living coral. The room is filled with water, but characters speak using hydrosonics. Water vibrations carry sound. This is never explained. One trusts the audience to accept it. Fact: the throne room set was 80 feet tall, built in 2 pieces, and required a 50-foot diving pool for the actors to swim through. Setting: the Ring of Fire is a volcanic arena at the bottom of the ocean. Lava bubbles create rings of fire. ORM challenges Arthur to single combat for the throne. Choreography. The fight is a brutal, slow-motion brawl. ORM is a trained warrior. He uses a trident with surgical precision. Arthur is a brawler. He uses his fists and a stolen anchor. Key moments. ORM disarms Arthur repeatedly. Arthur headbutts ORM, breaking his nose. ORM stabs Arthur in the shoulder. Arthur uses a lava bubble to blind ORM. ORM wins by gashing Arthur's chest and kicking him into the abyss. Emotional beat. Before ORM can deliver the killing blow, Mara saves Arthur with a water bubble. ORM shouts, "You will regret this, traitor." This cements Mara's allegiance. Fact, the fight took 2 weeks to film. Momoa and Wilson trained with underwater martial arts expert John Warner, who taught them Aqua Fu, a style combining Kung Fu, fencing, and synchronized swimming. Setup, a boat on the surface. Dr. Stephen Shin, Randall Park, is fishing. He pulls up a net. Inside is Black Manta, badly injured but alive. The deal? Shin says, "I've been looking for Atlantis my whole life. Take me there." Manta says, "I'll take you. But first, you help me kill Aquaman." Shin hesitates, then nods. Manta's eyes glow red. The screen cuts to black. Fact, Randall Park filmed a scene in one day. He improvised a line, "I'm a scientist, not a killer," to which Abdul Mateen replied, "You are now." The improv was kept. Part 8. Character Psychology Deep Dive 8.1 Arthur Curry / Aquaman, the Reluctant King Archetype. Psychological Profile. Arthur suffers from abandonment trauma. His mother left when he was 5, promising to return. She never did. As a result, Arthur rejects intimacy and responsibility. He drifts. He drinks. He helps people but refuses to lead. Defense mechanisms. Arthur uses humor as a shield. Every serious moment is undercut with a joke. When Mara says, "Your brother wants to destroy the surface," Arthur replies, "So does my landlord." This is avoidance. The turning point. Arthur's psychology changes in the hidden sea. When he sees his mother alive, he realizes that abandonment is not always betrayal. Sometimes it's sacrifice. This allows him to accept the throne, not as a burden, but as a gift. Comparison to other heroes. Arthur is closer to Thor, reluctant prince, than to Superman, chosen savior. But unlike Thor, Arthur's arc is about rejection of revenge. He chooses mercy twice, first with Manta, then with ORM. This is his heroic signature. 8.2 ORM Marius / Ocean Master, the eco-fascist tragedy. Psychological profile. ORM is motivated by maternal abandonment as well. Atlanta left him, too. Not to protect him, as she did with Arthur, but to return to her execution. ORM believes his mother chose death over him. This is a wound that never healed. Ideology. ORM's hatred of the surface is genuine, but weaponized. He uses pollution as a justification for conquest. In private, he admits, the surface is not the enemy. The surface is an excuse. His true enemy is his own insecurity. The performance. Patrick Wilson plays ORM with a trembling vulnerability beneath the regal mask. In the duel, when Arthur says, "Atlanta is alive," Wilson's face cycles through confusion, hope, and shame. It is a masterclass in micro-expression. Is ORM redeemable? The film suggests yes. He surrenders not because he is defeated, but because his mother's survival undercuts his entire worldview. The sequel, Lost Kingdom, would explore this redemption. 8.3 Mara, the warrior princess with no past. The gap. Mara is the film's weakest character psychologically. We know she is powerful, loyal, and in love with Arthur. We do not know her mother's fate, why she opposes her father, King Nereus, any personal trauma or desire beyond stop ORM. The performance. Amber Heard does what she can with limited material. Her Mara is fierce, competent, and physically expressive. But the script gives her no arc. She is the same person at the end as at the beginning. Deleted material. The novelization reveals that Mara's mother was executed for treason, and Mara swore never to be a pawn. This was cut from the film for time. Its absence weakens the character. 8.4 Black Manta, the villain we create. David Kane's motivation. Unlike ORM, whose villainy is political, David's is personal. He watched his father die because Arthur refused to help. This is a classic Heroes collateral damage, origin, like Batman creating the Joker and the Killing Joke. The suit is metaphor. Black Manta's helmet is a diving helmet, but it's also a prison. He cannot take it off without revealing his human face. The suit represents his transformation. He is no longer David Kane, the pirate's son. He is vengeance. Why he works. Abdul Mateen plays David as a wounded child in a monster's body. When he screams, "My father was all I had," it is not cackling villainy. It is grief. The audience understands why he hates Arthur, even as they root for Arthur to win. 8.5 Atlanta, the sacrificial mother. Narrative function. Atlanta is the film's emotional MacGuffin. She is the reason Arthur rejects Atlantis, the reason he later accepts it, and the reason ORM surrenders. She has no arc of her own. She is a catalyst. The performance. Nicole Kidman brings dignity and pathos. In the Hidden Sea reunion, her face crumbles when she sees Arthur. She whispers, "My boy, my beautiful boy." It is the film's most genuine moment. Subversion. Normally, the mother dies in superhero origin stories. Thomas and Martha Wayne, Jor-El and Lara Jonathan Kent. Atlanta survives. This is a deliberate choice by one to break the orphan hero trope. Part 9. Production Diaries. On-set stories from the cast and crew. 9.1 Jason Momoa's physical transformation. Training regimen. Momoa trained for 8 months. His routine. 5 days a week, 4 hours a day. He focused on functional strength, deadlifts, pull-ups, swimming with weights. He gained 25 pounds of muscle. Diet. 4,500 calories per day. 200 grams of protein. He ate 6 meals. Eggs, steak, chicken, rice, vegetables, protein shakes. He said, "I was pooping 6 times a day. It was disgusting." Injuries. Momoa tore his bicep during the Ring of Fire duel. He finished the scene, then had surgery. He was back on set in 3 weeks. The scar is visible in the final film. Look at his left arm during the Sicily chase. Age defiance. Kidman was 50 during filming. She refused a stunt double for the beach fight. She trained with martial arts coordinator Larnell Stovall for 6 weeks. She learned. Trident spinning, 2 weeks. Capoeira kicks, 1 week. Wire work for the Atlantean leap, 3 days. The injury. On day 3 of filming, Kidman pulled a hamstring during a jump. She finished the day, then wore a brace for 2 weeks. She said, "I'm too old for this, but I'm too proud to quit." 9.3 Patrick Wilson's underwater training. Breath holding. Wilson trained with freediver Kirk Crack, who also trained Margot Robbie for the Suicide Squad. He could hold his breath for 3 minutes and 20 seconds by the end of filming. The helmet. ORM's helmet was a 15-pound piece of foam and plastic. Wilson wore it for 10 hours a day. He said, "I had a permanent headache, but it looked cool, so worth it." Location shift. This is the film's most radical visual change. From the bottom of the ocean, we cut to the burning Sahara. Arthur and Mera walk through sand dunes. Mera uses her hydrokinesis to pull water from the air and drink it. The Fallen Kingdom. They find the ruins of the deserters. A kingdom that was once underwater but became land when the continent shifted. The architecture is a hybrid of Greek, Egyptian, and Atlantean styles. There is a giant statue of King Atlan holding his trident. The holographic map. Volko's training pays off. Arthur solves a puzzle by aligning the trident statue with the sun. A holographic projection, blue light, shimmering, shows the map of the 7 kingdoms. The coordinates point to Sicily. Character moment. While resting in the ruins, Arthur and Mera have their first genuine conversation. Mera asks, "Why do you hate Atlantis?" Arthur replies, "They killed my mother." Mera says, "She loved you. She gave her life for you." This is the moment Arthur begins to accept his heritage. Fact. The Sahara scenes were filmed in Merzouga, Morocco, where temperatures reached 118 degrees Fahrenheit 48 degrees Celsius. The crew built a 30-foot tall statue of Atlan, then digitally extended it to 300 feet in post-production. 7.8 The Sicily Chase, 1 hour and 10 minutes to 1 hour and 25 minutes. Tonal pivot. This sequence is the film's most purely fun. After the desert's heaviness, Sicily offers sunshine, pasta, and rooftop chases. It is a deliberate homage to James Bond and the Italian Job. Black Manta's entrance. David Kane, now calling himself Black Manta, ambushes them in the town square. His suit is a practical slash mocap hybrid. A black diving suit with red LED eyes, a silver helmet, and twin plasma cannons on his wrists. The chase. Arthur and Manta fight through a market, flying fruit, overturned carts, up a staircase and onto the rooftops. Mera uses her water powers to blast Manta off a roof. Arthur throws a Vespa scooter at him. It is chaotic, messy and joyful. The climax. Arthur pins Manta to a wall. Manta says, "My father was all I had." Arthur says, "I'm sorry. I won't kill you. But if you come after me again, I won't miss." Arthur leaves. Manta's eyes glow red. He whispers, "I'll find you." Fact, the rooftop chase was filmed entirely on location in Eris, Sicily. The production closed off 2 miles of streets. Momoa performed his own stunts, including a jump across a 15-foot gap between buildings. 7.9 The Trench, 1 hour and 25 minutes to 1 hour and 35 minutes. Horror sequence. This is James Wan's purest horror contribution. Arthur and Mera sail to the trench at night. The water is black. Bioluminescent creatures float below. Then silence. Then, thousands of trench creatures climb the boat. Creature design. The trench are humanoid but degenerate. Pale. Eyeless, with rows of needle teeth and elongated limbs. They move like spiders, skittering and swarming. They have no individual intelligence, only hive mind. The descent. The boat capsizes. Arthur and Mera sink into the abyss. One uses silence and darkness. We see only glimpses, a hand, a mouth, a glowing eye. Mera creates a bubble of air, but it's shrinking. They are pulled into a whirlpool. The wormhole. At the last moment, they are sucked through a hidden wormhole. The screen goes white. Then, color returns. They are falling through a sky, but it's an underground sky. This is the hidden sea. Fact. The trench creatures were designed by concept artist Gerard Morantz, who looked at deep-sea anglerfish, naked mole rats, and the aliens from Alien. 200 trench creatures were practical puppets. The rest were CGI. 7.10 The Hidden Sea in Atlantis Return. 1 hour and 35 minutes to 1 hour and 50 minutes. World building. The Hidden Sea is a prehistoric ecosystem at the Earth's core. Dinosaurs, plesiosaurs, mosasaurs, swim in a sunlit ocean. There is a floating island with a Greek temple, the resting place of Atlan's trident. The reunion. Arthur and Mera find Atlanta living in a cave. She is older, her hair white, but she's alive. She explains, King Orvax, ORM's father, sentenced her to the trench, but she escaped through the wormhole. She has been trapped for 20 years. Emotional beat. Arthur cries for the first time. He says, "I thought you were dead. I hated you for leaving." Atlanta says, "I left to save you. Every day I wish for this moment." They embrace. Mera watches, smiling. The Karathen. To reach the trident, Arthur must face the Karathen, a 5,000-foot long leviathan with 1,000 tentacles and a mouth like a black hole. The Karathen speaks in a calm, regal voice. Julie Andrews, many have come. All have failed. The test. The Karathen attacks Arthur, not with violence but with psychological torture. It shows him visions. His father dying, ORM winning, the surface burning. Arthur endures. He says, "I'm not here for power. I'm here to save both worlds." The Karathen pauses. "You are the first to say that. You may pass." Fact. Julie Andrews recorded her lines in a soundproof booth while wearing motion capture dots. Her face was not used. The Karathen's expressions were animated separately. 7.11 The Final Battle, 1 hour and 50 minutes to 2 hours and 15 minutes. The armies. ORM has united the fishermen, Zeeble and the brine. His army numbers 100,000, sharks with laser cannons, giant seahorses, armored whales. Arthur's army is the trench, 50,000, the Karathen, and a pod of humpback whales. The strategy. One shoots the battle as 3 simultaneous conflicts. The surface war. The Karathen breaches the surface, destroying ORM's command ships. The infantry battle. The trench swarm ORM soldiers, overwhelming them with numbers. The duel. Arthur and ORM fight on a giant sea turtle's back. The duel. This is the film's emotional climax. ORM fights with cold precision. Arthur fights with raw emotion. ORM stabs Arthur in the leg. Arthur breaks ORM's arm. ORM stabs Arthur in the chest near the heart. Arthur pulls the trident closer, headbutts ORM, and shatters his weapon. The Mercy. Arthur holds ORM at trident point. He says, "I could kill you, but I won't. You're my brother." ORM spits, "I have no brother." Arthur says, "Atlanta is alive. She's waiting for you to come home." ORM's face breaks. He surrenders. The coronation. Arthur ascends to the throne. He does not wear a crown. He says, "I will not be king of Atlantis. I will be king of the surface and the deep. Together we will heal." The Atlanteans cheer. Mara kisses him. Cut to credits. Fact: the final battle took 4 months to render. The largest shot contained 200,000 individual CGI creatures. Breath-holding. Wilson trained with freediver Kirk Crack, who also trained Margot Robbie for the Suicide Squad. He could hold his breath for 3 minutes and 20 seconds by the end of filming. The helmet. ORM's helmet was a 15-pound piece of foam and plastic. Wilson wore it for 10 hours a day. He said, "I had a permanent headache, but it looked cool, so worth it." 9.4 James Wan's directing style. Storyboarding. Wan storyboarded the entire film himself, 1,200 drawings. He gave each department head a binder of his sketches. He said, "I need everyone to see exactly what's in my head, or we waste time." On-set atmosphere. Wan is known for being calm. He never yells. He says, "Please and thank you." He plays classical music between takes. Momoa said, "He's like a monk." Then the cameras roll, and he's a demon. The 12-hour rule. Wan refused to work more than 12 hours per day. He said, "Exhaustion creates mistakes." The crew loved him. The studio was frustrated. 1-1. Part 10. Box office week by week breakdown. Week 1. December 21st to 27th, 2018, domestic opening. Thursday preview. Amazon Early Access 13.7 million, including 13.7 million, including 9 million traditional Thursday. Friday, $27.7 million. Saturday, $22.1 million. Sunday, $18.1 million. 3-day weekend, $67.9 million. 5-day holiday opening, $105.4 million. Rank, number 1. Context: the lowest DCU opening weekend, compared to Batman v Superman's $166 million, but the best 5-day hold. Week 2, December 28th to January 3rd, 2019. Weekend gross, $52.1 million. Drop, minus 23%. Excellent hold. Typical superhero drops are 55 to 60%. New Year's Eve, $10.1 million. New Year's Day, $16.8 million. Cumulative domestic, $188.2 million. Cumulative worldwide, $612 million. Week 3, January 4th to 10th, 2019. Weekend gross, $31 million. Drop, minus 41%. Cumulative domestic, $230.1 million. Cumulative worldwide, $855 million. Week 4, January 11th to 17th, 2019. Weekend gross, $17.4 million. Drop, minus 44%. Cumulative domestic, $268.1 million. Cumulative worldwide, $1.002 billion, crossed $1.002 billion, crossed $1 billion on January 12th. Context: the 6th DC film to cross $1 billion, the 3rd Warner Brothers film to do so in 2018. Week 5 and beyond. Final domestic, $335.1 million. Final international, $816.9 million. Final worldwide, $1.152 billion. Theatrical run, 147 days, ended May 16, 2019. Record-breaking international markets. Country gross, USD, notes China $298.3 million. Biggest DC film. Biggest December release, South Korea $39.1 million. 2&D. Biggest DC film UK $28.4 million biggest December opening Mexico $26.1 million biggest DC film Brazil $21.5 million biggest December opening France $19.8 million biggest DC film Germany $18.2 million biggest DC film Australia $16.4 million biggest DC film Momoa's home country. Takeaway: Aquaman outperformed Ant-Man 2, but was dwarfed by Infinity War and Black Panther. However, it significantly outperformed all other 2018 DC films. Justice League had grossed $657 million in 2017. 11.2 critical reception comparison film Rotten Tomatoes Metacritic Cinema Score Aquaman 66% 55 A- Wonder Woman 93% 76 Man of Steel 56% 55 A- Batman v Superman 29% 44 B Justice League 40% 45 B+. Takeaway: Aquaman is middle-tier DCU. Not as beloved as Wonder Woman, but far superior to Batman v Superman. It outperformed expectations given the character's reputation. 11.3 tone and style comparison. MCU formula: 2018 self-aware humor, colorful visuals, ensemble casts, post-credit stinger, 3-act structure, villain problem. DCU pre-Aquaman: dark, gritty, deconstructive, serious. Snyder's visual palette: desaturated, high contrast. Aquaman: bright, self-aware but not ironic, romantic, horror-tinged operatic. Verdict: Aquaman is closer to Thor, Ragnarok, 2017, than to Man of Steel. Both films embrace comic book silliness, vibrant colors, and classic rock soundtracks. One succeeded where Snyder struggled, making the absurd feel joyful. 11.4 Why Aquaman worked when other DCU films didn't. Director-driven vision, one had final cut. Snyder did not on Justice League. No connected universe burden. Aquaman barely references other DCU films. One line about Steppenwolf's defeat. It stands alone. Character simplicity. Arthur wants to protect his family. That's it. No complex morality, no deconstruction. Visual splendor. The film is beautiful. Audiences will forgive a weak plot for stunning visuals. Release date: December is a dead zone for superhero films. Aquaman had no competition until Spider-Verse, and that was animated. Introduction: water appears in 92% of Aquaman's shots. It is not just a setting, it is a symbol for identity, emotion, and connection. Water is emotion. When Arthur is angry, the seas rage. When he is calm, the water is still. This is not subtle, it is classical mythologizing. In the opening storm, water represents chaos. In the lighthouse montage, water represents love, the rain, the ocean waves. In the final battle, water represents unity, the 7 seas coming together. Water is identity. Arthur is half human, half Atlantean. He exists in the boundary, the shore. The film repeatedly shows him standing on beaches, 1 foot in each world. Water is the medium that connects these worlds. He is water made flesh, fluid, adaptable, powerful. Water is memory. Atlantis is a sunken city. The hidden sea is a prehistoric ocean. Water preserves. When Arthur swims through the ruins of the deserters, he is swimming through time. Water is the keeper of history. 12.2 The hero's journey with an aquatic twist. Joseph Campbell's monomyth, Aquaman, follows the classic structure. The call: ORM tsunami nearly kills Thomas. The refusal: I don't want to be king. The mentor: Volko provides training, Mera provides guidance. The crossing: entering the trench. The trials: the Sahara, Sicily, the Karathen. The abyss: the trench wormhole. The transformation: claiming the trident. The atonement: sparing ORM. The return: Arthur as king. The twist: the traditional hero's journey ends with the hero alone. Aquaman ends with family. Atlanta returns to Thomas. Arthur embraces ORM. The hero does not transcend humanity, he embraces it. 12.3 Ecofascism and the environmentalist dilemma. ORM's argument: the surface world pollutes. The oceans are dying. Drastic action is necessary. ORM is not wrong, he is extreme. This is the definition of ecofascism, using environmental concerns to justify authoritarianism and ethnic cleansing. The film's counter-argument: Arthur says, Not all surface dwellers are the same. My father is surface. He loves the ocean. The solution is not war but cooperation. The final shot is of a whale swimming past an oil rig, the two coexisting. Key sequences: Atlantis cityscape, Karathen, final battle. Technical innovation: haircraft, software for underwater hair simulation. Challenge: each hair strand needed individual physics. A single shot of Mera underwater required 100 terabytes of data. Solution: ILM built a custom render farm with 10,000 CPUs. A single frame took 120 hours to render. 13.2 Weta digital, de-aging. Shots, 120. Key sequences: flashbacks of young Vulko, young Atlanta. Technical innovation: face age regression, using machine learning. Challenge: Willem Dafoe's face is highly expressive. The de-aging had to preserve his performance. Solution: Weta scanned Dafoe's face from 50 angles, then applied a younger face model based on his 1990 film Wild at Heart. 13.3 Scanline VFX, water simulations. Shots, 450. Key sequences: the tsunami, the trench, the lighthouse storm. Technical innovation: Flowline water simulation software. Challenge: the tsunami had to look realistic but also dramatic, 50-foot waves. Solution: Scanline used real wave data from the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, then exaggerated it by 200%. 13.4 Rodeo FX environments. Shots, 200. Key sequences: the Sahara ruins, the Boston Aquarium. Technical innovation: procedural coral generation. Challenge: the Sahara ruins needed to look ancient but also underwater despite being dry. Solution: Rodeo built a Lego system of ruined building blocks, then layered sand, dust, and erosion textures. 13.5 Method Studios, character animation. Shots, 150. Key sequences: Sicily chase, Black Manta's suit, Arthur vs. Karathen. Technical innovation: digital double replacement. Challenge: the Sicily chase required Arthur to fight while CGI water splashed around him. Solution: Method replaced Momoa's body with a digital double for 70% of the chase, preserving his face but adding CGI limbs and hair. Part 14. Deleted scenes, alternate endings, and sequel setups. 14.1 Deleted scene. Vulko's exile, runtime 3 minutes. Content: after ORM imprisons Vulko, there is a scene of Vulko in his cell. He speaks to a sea turtle, his only companion. He says, "I trained Arthur to be a warrior. I should have trained him to be a king." The turtle swims away. Vulko smiles. He has a plan. Why deleted? One felt it slowed the pacing before the final battle. The scene exists in the novelization. 14.2 Deleted scene. Mera's mother, runtime 2 minutes. Content: Mera visits a memorial statue in Zeeble. She places a flower. The statue is of Queen Siren, her mother. An old woman says she died for treason. She believed in unity. Mera says, "I know. I believe the same." The woman says, "Then you will die, too." Mera walks away. Why deleted? Test audiences were confused. Who is Queen Siren? The film already had too many characters. 14.3 Alternate ending, ORM's death. Content: in the original script, Arthur kills ORM. The duel ends with Arthur stabbing ORM through the chest. ORM says, "Mother, I'm sorry," and dies. Arthur screams in grief. The Atlanteans are horrified. Mera says, "You are no king. You are a murderer." Why changed? One insisted on the mercy ending. Joseph Jason Namakiha Momoa was born on August 1st, 1979, in Honolulu, Hawaii. He was raised by his mother, Connie, a photographer, in Norwalk, Iowa. His father, Joseph, a painter, was native Hawaiian, Samoan, and Caucasian. Momoa discovered his biological father as an adult. This backstory of cultural hybridity mirrors Arthur Curry's own journey. Breakthrough roles: 1999, discovered by designer Eric Chandler and model agent Takeo Kobayashi, leading to his role as Jason Ione on Baywatch, Hawaii, 1999 to 2001. 2011, cast as Khal Drogo in HBO's Game of Thrones. He spoke Dothraki, a constructed language, and performed nearly all his own stunts. The character's death in Season 1 made him a fan favorite despite limited screen time. 2011 to 2012, starred as Ronan Dex in Stargate, Atlantis, a role that required extensive physical training. 2016, played Declan Harp in Frontier, Netflix, a role that combined his love of historical drama and action. Aquaman audition. Momoa auditioned for the role of Batman in Batman v Superman. He read for Zack Snyder. Snyder instead offered him the role of Aquaman. Momoa initially hesitated. "I thought, the guy who talks to fish? Really?" Then I read the script and realized, oh, he's a badass. Physical preparation, detailed. Duration, 8 months, January, August 2017. Trainer, Mark Twight, who trained Henry Cavill for Man of Steel. Routine, 5 a.m., wake, protein shake. 6 a.m., cardio, swimming, 2 miles. 8 a.m., weight training, deadlifts, squats, bench press. 10 a.m., martial arts, kung fu, judo. 12 p.m., lunch, chicken, rice, broccoli. 2 p.m., underwater training, breath holding, swimming with weights. 4 p.m., stunt rehearsal, wire work, fight choreography. 6 p.m., dinner, steak, vegetables. 8 p.m. rest. Results. Momoa gained 25 pounds of muscle, reaching 215 pounds at 5% body fat. He could hold his breath for 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Momoa's creative contributions. Dialogue. Momoa improvised several lines, including "You can try" to Black Manta, and "I'm not a hero, I'm a guy who can talk to fish." Tattoos. Momoa's real tattoos, his children's names, his Hawaiian heritage symbols, are visible in the film. He refused to cover them. One embraced them as part of Arthur's identity. Costume. Momoa requested that Aquaman's scale mail armor be distressed, not shiny. He's a warrior, not a prince. It should look like he's been through hell. Post-Aquaman career. 2019. Starred in Apple TV Plus, a post-apocalyptic drama. 2021. Reprised Aquaman in Zack Snyder's Justice League, HBO Max. 2021. Starred in Dune as Duncan Idaho and Sweet Girl, Netflix. 2023. Reprised Aquaman in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Upcoming. Minecraft, 2025. Fast X, Part 2, 2026. Patrick Wilson was born on July 3, 1973, in Norfolk, Virginia. His mother was a singer and voice teacher. His father was a television news anchor. He trained at Carnegie Mellon University, BFA in Drama, and Juilliard Graduate Drama Division. Notable roles before Aquaman. Broadway, lead in The Full Monty, 2000. Oklahoma, 2002, earning Tony nominations. Film, The Phantom of the Opera, 2004. Little Children, 2006, Oscar nomination. James Wan collaborations. Insidious, 2010. The Conjuring, 2013. Insidious. Chapter 2, 2013. The Conjuring 2, 2016. One said, "Patrick is my secret weapon. He can do anything." Approach to ORM. Wilson wanted ORM to be a villain you could almost agree with. He studied historical figures: Julius Caesar, ambition; Richard III, resentment; and Greta Thunberg, environmental activism. He said, ORM is right about pollution. He's just wrong about genocide. That's the tension. Physical training. Wilson was not an action star. He trained with John Warner, underwater martial arts, for 4 months. He gained 15 pounds of muscle. He said, "I wanted to look like a king who has never lost a fight, until he meets his brother." Vocal performance. Wilson deepened his voice by a full octave. He practiced speaking while holding his breath. He said, "Underwater, sound travels differently. I wanted my voice to feel like it was coming from the deep." Wilson's favorite scene. The duel in the Ring of Fire. He said, "It was just me and Jason, in a pool on wires for 2 weeks. No CGI, no green screen. Just 2 actors trying to kill each other. It was exhausting and glorious." 11.3 Amber Heard, The Warrior Princess. Early life and controversy. Amber Laura Heard was born on April 22, 1986, in Austin, Texas. She dropped out of high school at 17 to pursue acting. Her early career included roles in Friday Night Lights, 2004, All the Boys Love Mandy Lane, 2006, and Pineapple Express, 2008. She is also known for her high-profile marriage to Johnny Depp, 2015 to 2017, and subsequent legal battles, which impacted her career. Casting as Mara, Heard auditioned in December 2015. One said, "She walked in and I thought, that's Mara. She has this regal quality, but also a ferocity. She can kill you with a water whip," then quote poetry. Heard trained for 3 months in hydrokinesis choreography, arm movements that mimic water control. Physical preparation. Diet, 2,500 calories/day. Vegan. Heard is a longtime vegan. Training. Underwater swimming, 3 miles per day. Martial arts, Wing Chun, wire work. Injury. Heard broke her foot during the Sicily chase. She finished the scene, then wore a cast for 2 weeks. Her foot is visible in the film's digital double. Mara's powers. In the film, Mara can control any water source, oceans, pipes, even the water in human bodies, though this is only implied. One said, "She's not a sidekick. She's a co-lead. The film doesn't work without her." Controversy and career impact. During the promotion of Aquaman, Heard was in the midst of her legal battle with Johnny Depp. Warner Brothers considered recasting her for the sequel, but ultimately kept her. Her role in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom was significantly reduced. Reports suggest less than 15 minutes of screen time. Heard has since retired from acting as of 2024. 11.4 Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, The Rise of Black Manta. Early life. Yahya Abdul-Mateen II was born on July 15, 1986, in New Orleans, Louisiana. He studied architecture at the University of California, Berkeley, then earned an MFA from Yale School of Drama, 2016. He is one of the most classically trained actors in the DCEU. Casting story. Abdul-Mateen auditioned for Black Manta without knowing the character. He read a scene of a man grieving his father. He said, "I cried in the audition. I thought, this is not a villain. This is a broken man." One called him 10 minutes later. The suit. Abdul-Mateen wore a 50-pound practical suit for close-ups. The helmet had LED eyes that tracked his movements. He said, "I couldn't see anything. I had to trust my stunt double. But when the eyes glow red, I felt like a monster." Performance notes. Abdul-Mateen plays David Kane as soft-spoken and intense. His screaming is rare, only once, when his father dies. He said, "A man who screams all the time isn't scary. A man who whispers, then explodes, that's terrifying." Post-Aquaman career. 2019, Us, Jordan Peele, as the tethered version of Winston Duke. 2019, Watchmen, HBO, as Dr. Manhattan/Calabar. Won an Emmy. 2021, The Trial of the Chicago 7, Aaron Sorkin, as Bobby Seale. 2021, Candyman, Nia DaCosta, as Anthony McCoy. 2023, reprise Black Manta and Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. 2024, The Marvels, uncredited cameo, and The Matrix 5 announced. Early life. Nicole Mary Kidman was born on June 20th, 1967, in Honolulu, Hawaii, to Australian parents. She grew up in Sydney, Australia. She is one of the most decorated actresses in history, with an Academy Award, The Hours, 2002, 2 Emmy Awards, and 6 Golden Globes. Why she took the role? Kidman said, "I wanted to show my daughters that women over 50 can be action heroes. I also love James Wan. He's a genius." She read the script and insisted on the beach fight scene. No stunt double. "I want to prove myself." Kidman trained for 6 weeks with stunt coordinator Larnell Stovall. She learned trident spinning. 2 weeks. She could spin a 10-pound trident in both hands. Capoeira. 2 weeks. She used kicks from Brazilian martial arts in the beach fight. Wire work. 2 weeks. She was suspended 30 feet in the air for the Atlantean leap. The beach fight. Behind the scenes. The scene took 5 nights to film. The production needed darkness. Kidman fought 7 stuntmen. She said, "I was exhausted. My hamstring tore on night 3. I took painkillers and kept going. I'm too stubborn to quit." Emotional performance. The Hidden Sea reunion was filmed on Kidman's 51st birthday. She said, "I thought about my own children. How would I feel if I hadn't seen them for 20 years? I started crying. James didn't say cut. He just let me cry. William James, Willem, Dafoe was born on July 22, 1955, in Appleton, Wisconsin. He studied drama at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. He is a founding member of the Wooster Group, Experimental Theater. He has been nominated for 4 Academy Awards: Platoon, Shadow of the Vampire, The Florida Project at Eternity's Gate. Vulko's role. Dafoe was cast as Vulko, the vizier who trains Arthur. He said, "I'm the Gandalf. I give advice, then disappear for 45 minutes. I'm fine with that." He filmed his scenes in 2 weeks. De-aging process. 4 flashback scenes. Dafoe was digitally de-aged to 40. He wore motion capture dots on his face. He said, "It's strange. I look in the mirror and see an old man. Then I look at the screen and see a young man. I don't know who I am anymore." Dafoe's improvisations. In the scene where Vulko gives Arthur his first trident, Dafoe improvised the line, "A king fights for his people. A hero fights for everyone. One kept it." Part 12. Full soundtrack and score analysis 12.1 Rupert Gregson Williams, composer profile. Background. Rupert Gregson Williams was born on October 12, 1966, in Chichester, England. He studied at St. Paul's Cathedral Choir School and the Royal Academy of Music. He is the brother of composer Harry Gregson Williams, The Chronicles of Narnia, The Martian. Rupert previously composed for Wonder Woman, 2017, the 4th DCEU film. Approach to Aquaman. Gregson Williams said, "James wanted a score that felt like a rock opera underwater. He said, make it loud, make it emotional, make it weird." He incorporated orchestral elements, 80-piece orchestra, London Symphony Orchestra, choral elements, 40-voice choir, London Voices, ethnic instruments, taiko drums, Japan, didgeridoo, Australia, duduk, Armenia, water percussion, actual recordings of microphones submerged in pools. Recording process. The score was recorded at Abbey Road Studios, London, over 3 weeks. Gregson Williams conducted the orchestra while watching scenes on a monitor. He said, "I need to see the actors' faces. The music has to match their emotions." 12.2 track-by-track breakdown. 1. Everything I Need, Skylar Grey. 3:19. Context. End credit song for song. Lyrics. I've been looking for a reason / for a sign from above / then you smiled at me / and I found everything I need. Composition. Piano ballad with orchestral swells. Gray wrote it after watching the Hidden Sea reunion. It's about finding home in another person. Chart performance. Number 3 on Billboard Adult Contemporary. Number 1 on digital sales for 1 week. 2. Ocean to Ocean, Pitbull feat. Rhea. 3:47. Context. End credits song, second song. Sample. Toto's Africa, 1982. Pitbull paid $500,000 for the sample rights. Lyrics. From the ocean to the ocean / I'm a commotion / I'm a potion. Reception. Critics hated it, 3.2 / 10 on Pitchfork. Audiences loved it, it became a meme. One said, "It's supposed to be silly. That's the point." 3. Arthur, 4:47. Context. Main title theme, plays over the Warner Brothers logo. Composition. Low brass, trombones, tubas, playing a heroic fanfare, overlaid with ocean sounds, waves, whales. Gregson Williams said, "This is Arthur's theme. Big brash, but with a sadness underneath." 4. Atlantis, 5:12. Context. First view of Atlantis, Arthur and Mera arrive. Composition. High strings, violins, playing a major key melody with chimes and underwater bubbles. It is intentionally beautiful and ethereal. Hidden detail. The melody is a major key inversion of ORM's theme, which is minor. 5. Mera, 3:23. Context. Mera's first appearance, she arrives at the lighthouse. Composition. Cello solo, warm, rich. Then pizzicato strings, plucked, playful. Gregson Williams said, "She's serious but also funny. The music has to do both." 6. The Ring of Fire, 6:11. Context. Arthur vs. ORM duel. Composition. Taiko drums, battle rhythm. Electric guitar, distorted. Chorus, chanting in Latin. Pugna per tridentum. Fight for the trident. Recording. The choir recorded their parts while standing in a pool of water. The sound of splashing was mixed in context. Arthur and Mera enter the trench. Composition: low synth bass, subsonic frequencies, bowed cymbals, scraping, whispered vocals, nonsense words. It is intentionally terrifying. Technique: Gregson Williams used a technique called shepherd tone, a never-ending ascending scale, to create anxiety. 8. The Hidden Sea, 456. Context: first view of the hidden sea. Composition: solo flute, bird-like, harp, water droplets, strings swelling. It is magical and prehistoric. Inspiration: Gregson Williams listened to Claude Debussy's La Mer, 1905, for inspiration. 9. The Karathen, 248. Context: Arthur meets the Karathen. Composition: contrabassoon, lowest orchestral instrument, timpani, drum rolls, choir, whispered. Julie Andrews connection: Andrews's voice was pitch shifted down by 2 octaves. Gregson Williams then matched the orchestra to her new pitch. 10. King of the Seven Seas, 723. Context: final battle and coronation. Composition: full orchestra, full choir, rock drum kit. It reprises Arthur, heroic theme, and Atlantis, beautiful theme, and Mera, love theme. It is the longest track on the album. Climax: at 5:30, the music cuts to silence as Arthur spares ORM. Then, a single cello plays a new theme, Mercy. Several tracks were not included on the official soundtrack. Thomas in Atlanta, the love theme, played during the Lighthouse montage. Only 30 seconds appeared on the album. Volko's Training, a percussive track with taiko drums and chanting. Fans have reconstructed it from film audio. Black Manta's Revenge, a track with distorted guitar and heavy metal drumming. It plays when Manta reappears in Sicily. Total marketing spend: $150 million estimated. Warner Brothers strategy: the Wonder Woman model. Target women and families, not just comic book fans. Key demographics: women 18 to 35, 30% of budget. Families, 25% of budget. Comic book fans, 20% of budget. International, 25% of budget, with heavy focus on China. 13.2 trailer analysis. Teaser trailer number 1, SDCC, July 21st, 2018. Length: 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Views: first 24 hours, 70 million, record for a DC film at the time. Music: It's the End of the World as We Know It, and I Feel Fine, by R.E.M. Ironic Choice. Content: Arthur's origin, lighthouse parents, first glimpse of Atlantis, ORM speech, final shot of Aquaman riding a giant seahorse. Reaction: overwhelmingly positive. Fans praised the color palette and humor. Critics noted the absence of Black Manta. Trailer number 2, Cine Europe, June 11th, 2018. Length: 3 minutes. Music: Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes, instrumental version. Content: extended submarine hijacking, first look at Black Manta, the trench sequence, the Karathen. Reaction mixed. Some fans felt it showed too much, including the Karathen's appearance. One later said, "I fought the studio on that. They won." Final trailer, November 19th, 2018. Length: 2 minutes, 45 seconds. Music: No Church in the Wild by Jay-Z and Kanye West, Slow Down. Content: ORM Tsunami, Arthur claiming the trident, final battle footage, Mera's permission to come aboard line. Reaction: positive. It clarified the plot, a common complaint of the first 2 trailers. Extended sneak peek, October 5th, 2018. Length: 5 minutes. Platform: YouTube sponsored ad. Content: the entire submarine hijacking scene uncut, and the first 2 minutes of Atlantis. Views: 40 million, as of December 2018. Purpose: to convince skeptics that the film was worth seeing in IMAX. 13.3 promotional partners. Major partners: Amazon Prime. Early access screenings, December 15th, 2018. Amazon paid $10 million for the exclusive. IMAX, 20-minute extended preview for IMAX ticket holders, December 1st to 14th, 2018. Dr. Pepper, limited edition, Aquaman cans, blue and gold. 5 million cans produced. AT&T, behind-the-scenes featurettes for AT&T customers exclusive. Lego, Aquaman Lego sets, Atlantis throne room, submarine battle, Black Manta ship. Retail price, $100. Hot Wheels, Aquaman's Atlantean ship diecast model, 500,000 units sold. McDonald's, Happy Meal toys, 6 designs. Aquaman, Mara, ORM, Black Manta, Karathen, Atlanta. 50 million toys distributed globally. China-specific partners. Tencent, WeChat stickers, Aquaman emojis, 100 million downloads. Alibaba, Tmall presale tickets, 1 million sold in 24 hours. Pepsi, Aquaman-themed cans, blue and gold, 10 million cans produced. Xiaomi, Aquaman-themed phone cases, 500,000 sold. 13.4 social media campaign. Hashtags. Hashtag Aquaman. Hashtag Unite the Seven. Reference to hashtag Release the Snyder Cut. Hashtag The Trench. Platforms. Instagram. Momoa's personal account. 15 million followers. Posted daily behind-the-scenes photos. He gained 2 million followers during the campaign. Twitter. Warner Brothers ran a Ask Aquaman Q&A where Momoa answered fan questions in character. TikTok. The Ocean to Ocean Challenge. Users dancing to Pitbull's song. 500,000 videos created. Weibo. China Momoa learned Mandarin phrases, hello, thank you, to connect with Chinese fans. Total social media impressions, 5 billion as of January 2019. 13.5 World Tour, November, December 2018. Cities visited, London, November 26th, world premiere. Beijing, November 28th. China premiere. Manila, November 30th. Philippines premiere. Sydney, December 3rd. Australia premiere. Tokyo, December 5th. Japan premiere. Mexico City, December 8th. Mexico premiere. Sao Paulo, December 10th. Brazil premiere during CCXP. New York, December 13th. US premiere. Los Angeles, December 16th. US second premiere. Honolulu, December 18th. Momoa's home state premiere. Total miles traveled, 40,000. Total cost, $5 million. Flights, hotels, security, press interviews, 500 combined. 13.6 effectiveness analysis. Box office return on marketing spend. Marketing budget, $150 million. Global box office, $1.152 billion. Marketing ROI, 7.68x. Every one spent to market earned 1 spent to market earned 7.68 at the box office. Benchmark, 2018 superhero films. Avengers, Infinity War, marketing 200M, box office 200M, box office 2.048B, ROI 10.24x. Black Panther, marketing 150M, box office 150M, box office 1.347B, ROI 8.98x. Aquaman, marketing 150M, box office 150M, box office 1.152B, ROI 7.68x. Ant-Man and the Wasp, marketing 100M, box office 100M, box office 622M, ROI 6.22x. Verdict, successful but not spectacular. Aquaman's marketing campaign excelled at reaching new audiences, women, families, but struggled to convince skeptical comic book fans who remember the character's joke status. Part 14. Home media release details. 14.1 digital release, March 5th, 2019. Platforms: Amazon Prime Video, iTunes, Google Play, Vudu Microsoft Store. Price: $19.99 purchase, $19.99 purchase, $6.99 rental. Special features: digital exclusive. Atlantis at Last, 10-minute featurette on world building. The Trench, horror on the high seas, 5-minute featurette. Momoa's Journey, 15-minute documentary. Deleted scenes, 2 scenes, 5 minutes total. Digital sales, first week 1.5 million units, $30 million revenue. 14.2 physical release, March 19th, 2019. Formats: Blu-ray 1080p, 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray 2160p, HDR10 Dolby Vision. 3D Blu-ray for 3D televisions. DVD, standard definition. Limited edition steelbook, Best Buy exclusive, 50,000 units. Price, DVD, $19.99. Blu-ray, $24.99. 4K Blu-ray, $29.99. Steelbook, $34.99. Special features, physical exclusive. James I, visionary director. 20-minute documentary. Scoring the Seven Seas. 15-minute featurette with Rupert Gregson Williams. The Art of the Trident. 10-minute featurette on prop design. Audio commentary with James I. 2 hours, 23 minutes. Audio commentary with Jason Momoa and Patrick Wilson. 2 hours, 23 minutes. Gallery. Concept art, 100 images. Storyboards, 50 images. Costume designs, 30 images. Date, July 1st, 2019, 9 months after theatrical release. Performance, #1 most streamed film on HBO Max for 3 consecutive weeks, July 2019. Viewership, 50 million households, as of December 2019. Netflix International, in markets without HBO Max, e.g., Europe, Asia, Aquaman was licensed to Netflix. Netflix paid $50 million for a 2-year exclusive window, 2019 to 2021. 14.4 television premiere. Date, December 15th, 2019, HBO US. Rating, 4.5 million viewers, highest rated DC film premiere on HBO since The Dark Knight Rises. Part 15, sequel analysis, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, 2023. 15.1 production overview. Title, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Director, James I. Writers, David Leslie Johnson McGoldrick, Solo Noel Beale. Release date, December 22nd, 2023 US. Budget, $215 million, estimated, operator box office. Operator 215 million, estimated, operator box office. Operator 434 million worldwide, significantly less than the original. Critical reception, Rotten Tomatoes 58%, Metacritic 52. 15.2 plot summary. Setting, 3 years after the first film. Arthur is now king of Atlantis, married to Mera, and father to a son, Arthur Jr., named Aquababy by fans. He is struggling with the duties of kingship. Villain, Black Manta returns, now wielding the cursed Black Trident, forged by Kordax, ORM's evil brother. Manta seeks to free Kordax from his prison and destroy everything Arthur loves. The Lost Kingdom. The film introduces Necrus, a lost 8th kingdom made of black ichor and hate. It is the prison of Kordax. ORM's redemption. Arthur releases ORM from prison to help fight Manta. The two brothers bicker and fight but eventually reconcile. ORM sacrifices himself, apparent death, to save Arthur and Manta, but survives in a post-credits scene. Climax. Arthur destroys the Black Trident, defeats Manta, who is imprisoned not killed, and returns to Atlantis. The final shot is Arthur, Mera, and their son in the lighthouse. 15.3 wide underperformed. Factors. Amber Heard controversy. The ongoing Johnny Depp trial polarized audiences. A petition to remove Heard from the sequel garnered 4 million signatures. Warner Brothers reduced her screen time to 12 minutes. Superhero fatigue. By 2023, audiences had seen 30-plus superhero films. The Lost Kingdom was the 7th superhero film of 2023, following Ant-Man 3, Shazam 2, The Flash, Blue Beetle, Spider-Verse 2, The Marvels. Negative reviews. Critics called it more of the same but worse. Complaints. Overlong. 2 hours, 40 minutes. Weak CGI, confusing plot. No China release. The Chinese government blocked The Lost Kingdom due to controversial content. Likely Heard. China had contributed $298 million to the first film. Without it, the sequel lost 25% of its potential box office. Momoa's schedule. Momoa could not promote the film extensively. He was filming Fast X, Part 2 in Minecraft. He did only 10 interviews, compared to 200 for the first film. 15.4 comparison to the first filmetric Aquaman, 2018. Aquaman 2, 2023. Budget $200M, $215M. Domestic opening $67.9M, $28.1M. Domestic total $335.1M, $125.1M. China gross $298.3M, 0 band. Worldwide total $1.152B, $434M. Rotten Tomatoes 66%, 58%. Audience score 78%, 72%. Takeaway: The Lost Kingdom is a box office disappointment, but not a disaster. It will likely break even through home media and streaming. It debuted #1 on Max. 15.5 Future of the franchise. Cancelled spin-offs. The Trench horror spin-off announced 2019, cancelled 2021. Black Manta solo film announced 2019, cancelled 2022. Aquaman 3 status unconfirmed. One has said, "I need a break, maybe a few years." Momoa has said, "I love Arthur, but I have other projects." DC reboot. In 2023, DC Studios, headed by James Gunn and Peter Safran, announced a reboot of the DC Universe. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is the final film of the DCEU. The next Aquaman, if any, will be a new actor. Part 16. Fan theories and speculation. 16.1 Theory: Atlanta was never going to return. The evidence: Atlanta says, "I will return when it's safe." But she never does. She is trapped in the hidden sea. Some fans theorize that Atlanta knew she could not return. The trench would kill her. She lied to protect Arthur. Counter evidence: the film shows that Atlanta survived and was trying to find a way back. She built a raft of sea turtle shells. She did not lie. She was defeated by circumstance. Verdict: ambiguous. The novelization confirms Atlanta's hope, but the film leaves it open. 16.2 Theory: Mara is the real villain. The evidence: Mara is betrothed to ORM. She betrays him for Arthur. Some fans argue that Mara is a manipulator who uses Arthur to gain power. She is never truly in love. She is a political climber. Supporting clues: Mara's first line to Arthur: "I need your help," not "I love you." Mara's father, King Nereus, says, "You are just like your mother." Her mother was executed for treason. Is